The DCEU and the history of it. So the DCEU begins with Man of Steel, the first film that proposed Henry Cavill to the A-list. Then 3 years later, we got Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which could be a hit and miss. Then we also got Suicide Squad, which there was a bit of a problem. The script was a problem, but the characters were fun. The cast was actually really good, and they were fun to watch. But David Ayer's movie was taken away from him, and then they reshot some things, so it didn't work out that great. And Jared Leto's Joker was even hated, but Harley Quinn was fun to watch. Even the characters were also fun to watch as well. But there were some reasons that didn't really quite work. Then we got a surprising hit with Wonder Woman in 2017. How surprising was that? Then comes Justice League 2017, or Justice League, which somehow there was a lot of drama behind the scenes, with studio interference, bad ideas, and the sad thing that director Zack Snyder couldn't even finish the film because his daughter Autumn passed away. So Joss Whedon came in and reshot some things. Fans were demanding that Zack Snyder's version of the film would be having his own. Like, hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Excuse me. And they were demanding to see it. Before the film was even released, the guy who directed the first two Avengers movie and wrote the script alongside Chris Terrio, Joss Whedon was accused by actor Ray Fisher about, quote, gross, abusive, and completely unacceptable behavior. Fellow Justice League actors like Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot also spoke out against Whedon, while Warner Media launched an investigation. However, in 2021, we did get Zack Snyder's Justice League, which ended up being a better version of Justice League. So take that, Joss Whedon. Don't even think about making a big comeback again. Then in 2018, we got a huge billionaire film that made a huge ton of money, Aquaman. Well, thanks to Jason Momoa and, well, not you, Amber, because we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, surprisingly, a huge hit. Then we also got another huge hit with Shazam. How surprised was that? Then 2020, the worst year of our lives, we ended up getting Birds of Prey, which some of y'all hated, but I don't understand why. But I actually really love it, though. I mean, there isn't a reason why to hate it, but I actually love it. Then, after months of delay, we ended up getting Wonder Woman 84 in theaters and on HBO Max, but it failed to replicate the same as its predecessor, in which I was very disappointed about this film anyways. But the good news was that the following year as Zack Snyder's Justice League, we ended up getting the Suicide Squad, that was directed by James Gunn, that was better than its original. And we also got the Peacemaker show, which is one of the best superhero shows of that year. Then the same year, we ended up getting Black Adam, in which The Rock was able to get his own film as the character after being in development for a very long time. But the problem was it was a huge box office failure. And The Rock is the character Black Adam is not a Superman top tier character. But the same year, James Gunn, he was fired by Disney over hateful tweets, ended up directing the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker show, is the new head of the DC Studios, which is absolutely crazy because he did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then the next thing you know, he becomes the new head of the DC Studios. Isn't that an interesting story? But then there was the drama in 2022. First off was when Henry Cavill started off as Superman, and then kind of got a little bit of a bad reputation with WB. As Superman, he decided to leave and focus on The Witcher, but then he decided to return to Superman in Black Adam for a little cameo in Black Adam, But the only thing is, he ended up deciding to leave after meeting with James Gunn, and they wanted to focus on a young person. That was like a huge sad thing to happen. And so people were sad and frustrated about it. But it's such a sad way to end this off. Ben Affleck is also going to be done playing Batman. Then there were the two actors that were in very controversy. First off, with Amber Heard in her trial against her former husband, Johnny Depp, in which she publicly lied about abusing from him. But suddenly, the public came around, and the question was revealed that the actual abuser was Amber, and Amber Heard lost the trial against Johnny, and her career has taken a hit. And while Ezra Miller has gone into a lot of trouble with the law, in which it was clearly mental health issues, in which they have been getting a little help, which is good for them, but in the net, people demanded that The Flash would be recast, but that wouldn't be an option. And now The Flash is coming out this summer, so we'll see about what happens. Black Adam 2, in which it was supposed to be like the Black Adam sequel with Black Adam and Hawkman, was canceled. Man of Steel 2 was going to happen, but that was also canceled. Wonder Woman 3 was also canceled. And even the more crazy thing, in August 2022, they shot Batgirl and they finished it up, but then when the test screens they did, they ended up scrapping it. How shocking was that? I mean, pretty weird that you shelled a $90 million movie and you're gonna release in theaters on HBO Max. That's kind of weird, but shocking. But the test screenings didn't go well, so it's such a sad way. Even the huge surprising cast and something that we were gonna get, but never did happen. It'll never see the light of day. Then we're in 2023 right now, with Shazam! Fury of the Gods, in which, to be quite honest, y'all, when I first watched it, I was like, I didn't like that movie. It left me with such big disappointments because I loved the first film. The cast was fun, but the villains I really didn't like, so it's a huge disappointment for me. And then it also came out that Zachary Levi said that The Rock sabotaged the movie and he should have been in it. And he's the reason why Black Adam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods didn't do well at the box office. And now with all the things that, listen here, The Rock, we love you, but you're nowhere near Superman's level. And he almost sabotaged DC, but now his time is done. And now we have The Flash, after all the drama it's been through and all the development it's been through, it's finally coming. And all the test screenings they did for this film have been very good. They showed it at the Comic-Con, and so far, people are starting to like it right now. And even when it's premiered this week, they're probably going to be liking this well. But let's just see how this is going to do. But I hope this won't, damage his reputation with Ezra Miller. And we have Blue Beetle coming, and which I do see his expectations for this. And the final DCEU film will be Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, in which there was reported that all the test screenings didn't go really well. So this is the last time we're going to see Jason Momoa as Aquaman, as he's going to be Lobo instead. But here's the original DCEU slate. In 2013, we got Man of Steel, then we got Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. Then we got Wonder Woman and Justice League. We were supposed to get The Flash 5 years ago, but now we're getting it right now, and we got Aquaman, and we're supposed to get an untitled DC film. Then we got Shazam, and we're supposed to get Justice League Part 2, an untitled DC film. Then in 2020, we're supposed to get Cyborg and Green Lantern Corps, but none of these two ever happened, and these untitled projects, they never happened. We could have had it all if Justice League didn't flop. I don't know. It's such a sad thing that these projects get to see the light of day. I don't care. We're getting a reboot now. Such a shame. And I know how you all are feeling right now. And especially that you're trying to compete with like what Marvel is doing with all their stuff, how successfully well they have done. It's such a disappointment. But now with James Gunn at the helm, and now, like, after done with all the Guardians of the Galaxy, he could probably save the franchise and give us something that the fans actually really want. So, yeah. I mean, let's hope he does better than the DCEU, since he obviously knows what's best for the fans. And also, he's very clear that Matt Reeves' Batman, Todd Phillips' Joker, and Teen Titans Go are Elseworld, so they won't be involved with the DCEU, which is great news. Very good. That means we won't have to see any of that in the DCU, because that would have ruined them. And now he's revealed the slate of the DCU and its upcoming projects, and some that are Elseworld. And who's to blame for the DCU? DC Studio head Walter Hamada for basically ruining it. Everything he did, and obviously what he had done, wasting actors, rewrite projects, cancel projects, and just basically giving us something that was just for nothing. So, curse you, Walter. And this also leaves me with one question. Did they even have a plan in the first place? Because if you have a plan of what you were going to do, like Marvel did, that means you're good with. But since DC didn't really quite have a plan in my feelings right now, the blame is all going to Walter Hamada for wasting all the potential and the stars and everything. So, it's so sad that we're going to miss this cast and the original Justice League. But hopefully we'll see another Justice League in the new DC universe. Will you miss this franchise? And will you miss the cast of this franchise? Because we will. And this is all now coming to an end. Goodbye, DCU 2013 to 2023. And when Aquaman comes out, I hope to do a ranking about it, because we will miss this franchise. But hopefully the DCU can be better.